Good morning, millennials. Good morning, Daryn.
Good morning, Jackie. It feels good to be back.
It feels so good to have you here. I'm so excited. And I'm going to give you Tony Romo today.
Okay.
Breaking down our Super Bowl, which is Andy Cohen's baby shower, which we have so much to discuss.
Yeah, I still am floating from it.
But that's really top of mind for all the toasters. We've been waiting for you to join us for so long.
I knew as soon as that happened and like the coverage that I got. Like, first off, I got so many Instagrams being like, you deserve a Pulitzer. Like, this was literally the best episode of Housewives I've ever seen that was never aired. And I was like, I gotta go on the toast and talk about this. And then you texted me and I was like, yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
No, it worked out so well.
Yes, it did.
And we're just so excited. Like, you guys, your questions are out of control, and I really am going to get to each and every single one of them. But
we'll get through it.
We'll get through it. That will more so be towards the end, but like high level.
Yes.
Just gist us. How did this come together?
Okay.
How long were people planning for? The Housewives bought their own flights, correct?
Correct. Bravo did not pay for any of this. None of this was filmed outside of like what we had on our Instagrams. Basically, the night that Andy had announced that he was going to have a baby, which was December 20th, which was Come OG Faithful, which was like our Christmas show with all of the originals, minus some people who couldn't make it. That night he made the announcement.
And minus people who might have not been invited, Lisa Vanderpump?
Nene and Kyle and Ramona and Vicky and Teresa took it upon themselves to plan it. So considering the fact that it happened like mid-January and we found it a month before that, only a month while planning happened. And Kyle invited everyone. She sent out the invites. I had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Was it like a paperless post?
It was a paperless post.
Very cool.
It was a paperless post.
And how did she get all the Housewives emails?
Oh, I mean, we have a database with every single one of them. I'm not sure exactly how she had it. First off, I'm sure she sent it out to like the head honcho of each franchise, and then they dispersed accordingly. I imagine
it really is like a sorority, like national chapter, and then you go to like the president of each sorority house.
Exactly. It's exactly that, and you could just see like all the little cliques and how each franchise like represented their own. Like it was just amazing. It was amazing.
So, which franchise would you say was MVP?
Atlanta.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would.
I was going to say Beverly Hills, but I wasn't there, so who cares?
So Beverly Hills, they're always MVP. They were in their home turf. You know, Kyle was the one planning it. Like, they're famous sort of in their own right. But Atlanta has the best entrance, and I feel like when they walked in, they just like turned up. They're 6 feet tall. They're gorgeous. They just have really loud personalities, but in the best way. Mm-hmm. Like, Eva Marcel didn't even really dress up. That was kind of cool. There was a lot.
Kind of cool. And my personal choice for best dress was Cynthia Bailey.
Of course, Cynthia Bailey and Dorit. Dorit was one of my favorites.
Oh, really?
She wore like a tux.
Okay, because from the Lisa Rinna Instagram stories of it all, she looked like she was wearing like a black top and black leggings and a high pony, which like I love Dorit's fashion.
Yes.
No, so I loved it, but I thought maybe she was playing it cool, but if it was a tux.
It was a tux with like tails. Like it was really, really chic.
Oh, that's cool. Because I honestly
chic.
was like, maybe Dorit had some. I saw she was at the aquarium with her kids. Like maybe she was coming from somewhere else.
Yeah, no.
Because that's so not Dorit.
She turned out, and she's just very, very thin. So it was just perfect looking. But yeah, Cynthia Bailey crushed it. She was like in a yellow suit. Like, okay, that's amazing.
Obsessed.
Yeah, obsessed.
And so I think we all are in agreement on who the MVP was. But I just want to hear maybe there's something we didn't see.
Okay, you guys think that Lisa Rinna was the MVP?
Of course.
Yeah, I think that she was I don't want to say she was the unexpected MVP because like everyone expects Lisa Rinna to turn out, but I don't think we ever knew how many touchdowns she was going to really throw.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize she was going to get the ball so much and just keep throwing complete passes, and she did.
She really did. And if I had known this was going down, and I could have, we could have made predictions like the Super Bowl, like who's going to win, who's going to be MVP. I don't know who I would have said.
I don't think I would have said
because I feel like Lisa Rinna. I love her mostly because even back in the day when she was being a shit starter and like people didn't know how they felt about her, my friend Rebecca always really liked her. So now she just reminds me of my friend Rebecca, and she just has that sort of spirit. So I've always really liked her, but I've always felt she was a little underappreciated, and she kind of like gets the short end of the stick on Beverly Hills. But I feel as though she played it. She had a season of playing it safe.
Yes, she did. Of course, everyone always has a season of playing it safe,
right?
Because you never know.
And some people like Ramona when she does it, like she hates it. She hates every minute of it. She's like third on the couch at reunion. She's out. I think Lisa Rinna actually enjoyed it. But then I think this season, I don't know what's going down, but I think she saw some grave injustices that she just couldn't keep quiet about.
I think Lisa Rinna has fully come into her own. I mean, listen, she's famous in her own right. Like, she was famous before the Housewives. We have Denise Richards on Beverly Hills.
Which is something that I'm on the fence about famous housewives. But Lisa Rinna has turned me, and I lean.
You feel that way about Rich Housewives or just famous?
Famous. No,
Okay.
love Rich Housewives.
Okay.
Famous Housewives, it's kind of like unfair, but I think that Lisa Rinna was a great person to start with because she's always like, you know, up and down in her career, and she's not too proud. But I'm curious to see how the Denise Richards of it all pans out.
Me too.
Because she is so famous, and will she get down and dirty?
Well, that was the thing too, because I had never met her. So like seeing Denise Richards there was the first time, and she was with Rebecca Romaine because Jerry O'Connell was there. You know, they're big housewives. I was talking to Jerry the whole time, and Jerry was like, I just want Rebecca Romaine to get in fight with one of the Beverly Hills girls, and then boom, she's a friend, and then boom, she's a housewife. Like he was planning everything out, which was hilarious. But it was weird seeing two famous actresses in their own right like talk at this housewives baby shower. What was also weird was that the baby shower had like literally nothing to do with the baby.
Oh, well, of
Like
course.
there was like a photo booth like in the back with like rattles and like it's a boy, but like other than that, like there were no baby mentions at all, which was kind of great.
Which is kind of, yeah.
It was
no, it's like
perfect.
the last hurrah. It's like a bachelorette party for a baby.
And to your point before, I wouldn't have expected Lisa Rinna to be as MVP as she was. I thought it might have been Sonia after a few cocktails. I thought maybe Dorinda, because New Yorkers, like, I feel like they have that close bond with Andy just simply from proximity. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
That's what I thought. But Lisa Rinna,
She pulled out all the stops.
more than all the stops, yeah.
Okay, now just a few more questions before,
Yeah, go ahead.
before we table the subject.
Yes.
Who were the most unexpected of friends?
Well, I mean, like who we're getting along the most?
Yeah, that was the like there was a lot of crossover.
I was surprised to see Phaedra there in her own right.
Agreed.
Okay, so having her
And
there.
I was happy to see her.
I love Phaedra. She's so nice to me. It was a really welcome sign to see her. She was so lovely. And like, I think, and Nene has always like championed her. Whenever they're like, who do you want back on? Nene's like, I want Phaedra back on. And from what I saw, she was very much so getting along with everyone.
So do you think it's a possibility?
I would say never say never. I really wouldn't. I don't know all the inner like legal stipulations,
Right.
like because obviously something went down that was serious. It wasn't just like she's boring. Like it clearly had nothing to do with the fact that she's boring.
Right.
So I don't really know the legal stipulations, but I do know that it's a never say never. If it was a never say never, she wouldn't have come.
Right.
She wouldn't have come. That's my personal opinion.
Right.
Marlo, always great. Danielle Staub, it was a little touch and go there because she wasn't actually originally invited. And I think Teresa invited her and she flew out. And, you know, listen, we're not going to kick anyone away. This isn't like the most exclusive club ever. This is just like, it is, but like it wasn't, Andy would never do that.
Right.
Like they're there to celebrate him. You know what I mean? And it was a good thing that she was there. But it was like New York and New Jersey weren't really getting along and they were like East Coast and you thought that they would. And they all represented their perfect stereotypes. Like Gina and Emily were kind of on the side. They didn't even really sit at the table. They were only hanging out with
Gina
them.
and Emily.
They're so
I
Gina
was
and Emily.
looking at one of their Instagrams.
Yeah.
I don't know which one because Gina looks like an Emily and Emily looks like a Gina.
I know.
Even now, like, and I said that to you the first time we spoke about them, and even still, I always need a minute. Okay, no, Gina is the Emily and Emily is the Gina. And I was looking at one of their Instagrams, and all that person was posting, I think it was Emily's Instagram, she only posts pictures with Gina. Like it's really like it's really
Emily's
weird.
the tall one with like kind of the weird husband, and Gina's the young one who's getting divorced.
Yes, and I think Gina, and who also got a DUI, which is a story for today.
Yes, okay, yes.
Which I haven't even really read up on, so we'll talk about it.
I will say that I had never met them before either, and they were awesome and really, really lovely. I just wanted them to kind of like mix in more, because I often as a fan who also works with them, like I often forget that like it is real life. Like the real drama is ensuing. I will say there were a couple fights that were breaking out in Beverly Hills that Andy told them to button up, save it for the reunion. A couple of things in OC that were happening.
Oh, shit.
It was a lot. That's good.
So exciting. And now one glaring question.
Yeah.
Where was Lisa Vanderpump?
Well, I will say we served Vanderpump Rosé. So Vanderpump was there in spirit.
In spirit.
I think she was definitely, good one, Jackie O. I think she was definitely invited. I can't say for sure exactly why she wasn't there, but I think she was invited.
Okay. And I guess because she wasn't on OG Faithful.
Yeah.
Probably because she only will do Watch What Happens Live alone and like wouldn't have sat next to all those women. And if that's where the idea started.
Well, right, and
she
not
wouldn't have
gonna
been on the hosting committee, but she's an OG, so what she's going to show up like.
Exactly. We were missing like one from each franchise for the most part. Like there were probably like 5 or 6 that were missing.
For sure, and everyone who wasn't there had a great explanation.
100%.
So Lisa Vanderpump, there was no explanation, and it's literally down the block from where she lives.
Well, yeah, it is like her kind of like hometown. Which
Right,
was
that makes it even more glaring. Like Countess is on tour, Bethany had a speaking gig in LA, but still, I don't think there's any Bethany issue.
No, I don't think there's any. I think she had it. Listen, we had a month to plan it. So like a lot of these housewives have speaking engagements and they're committed beforehand.
And did everyone know that it was going to be like as big of a deal as it
No
was,
one
or
knew.
did everyone think, oh, not everyone can go?
Yeah, I don't think anyone knew it was. I mean, even Andy and I like had no idea what to expect. Like,
Yeah, it was probably just like a few of the housewives
I
getting
literally
together.
thought it was gonna be like a seated supper. Like that's what
Yeah.
I thought, and I was like, okay, like we'll have glasses of rosé and like talk. And there were just speeches, like there'd be dancing. We had like this guy do beauty portraits where you could get your portrait done like on a vinyl of your choice, which was a really nice touch.
That is a nice touch.
You know, it was at the Palm in Beverly Hills, very very classy. Food was amazing, decorated to the nines. Only really like after the seated dinner did it like turn, and Lisa Rinna got on the mic and just like handled it.
Yeah.
Like Kelly Dodd, I thought, who wasn't there, I thought she was gonna like take that role over, like an MC, because Kelly Dodd just like has no shame, and I just love her. Like she's so real. But she wasn't there, so I guess Lisa Rinna kind of had to like take it over.
And for that, we are forever grateful.
Forever grateful.
Okay, I'm going to table this for a little bit because we have to get into the news of the day.
Okay.
Last night was the Super Bowl, and it was super boring. Sorry for
It was
the...
terrible. I didn't
really
care
was.
at all.
And it would, even if it was an incredible game,
Yeah.
I wouldn't care so much. Like, I was sitting there watching football for hours, and that's really hard for me. And I was sitting with Snitch, and she was so excited because she loves the Patriots, and Olivia and Zach love football, and Zach. So I was trying to get into it, but at a certain point, I was like, I have to go home. I had a drink for the first time since dry January, and it just made me so tired because I had wine. And I was so tired and so bored. And so I left at the end of the third quarter.
Kicking it off with wine is...
I really like wine, but it just
brings-
made
it's
me
just like-
so tired. I wouldn't have, I don't even know what I would have done differently. I was just
Tequila,
out of
soda,
it.
vodka, something
And there
that
was,
like...
Yeah, I guess next time. Now I know.
Listen, honestly, like you could have slept. That was probably the best, smartest choice to make during the Super Bowl. It was so boring.
Yeah.
It was the worst. I hate the Patriots too. Sorry.
Everyone, like, they just played like shit, and it was just like the best of the worst.
Anytime that you have I mean, this is getting sports talk, but anytime it's like a game of defense and it's only about like who can defend their like end zone or goal or basket better, it's never interesting.
No one was
You want a
going for it.
high scoring game, like you want it to be, and also, I mean, the Rams, great. I was just in LA for like 3 weeks, but the Patriots, like, I'm over you, Tom Brady. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Do you think that the Saints are pissed because they actually won that game, and
Yeah.
then the Rams showed up and played like garbage?
Yeah. I do think that if I was a Saint, I would be pissed because they didn't get it on a bad call, which always sucks.
Yeah.
It always sucks.
And so maybe the Saints could have beaten the Patriots.
But anyway, I watched for the halftime show, which was also kind of lame.
Which was also kind of lame.
I mean, I don't care about Maroon 5.
Me neither.
So there's that. But like when he started taking his shirt off, granted, I know I'm gay, so I understand. I'm wearing rose-colored glasses with this. But like, really?
It's not you.
It's
not
I
you.
like tattoos.
Yeah.
I like tattoos.
The tattoos, at least it was interesting to look
Yeah,
at.
I could read something,
Yeah, so
right?
I was like,
ooh,
like,
it's a newspaper.
right.
But like, nothing else was interesting at all about it.
No, when he took his shirt off, I was like, this is fucking thirsty. And
Right?
And then I was like, how come he's allowed to show his nipple and Janet can't? And then I saw that I wasn't the only person thinking that. I was kind of like joking because I guess men's nipples are okay, but we learned that from Instagram.
You know, in New York City, though, you're allowed to walk around topless.
As a woman,
Yeah.
I've actually seen some women in Times
Do
Square.
that. I love it.
Fighting the good fight.
And I'm not saying that like in a sexual way. I'm just saying like, dude, embrace it. Like if men can do it, females should be able to do it. It's just a nipple.
Yeah.
It's just a nipple.
Yeah.
Jackie, you uncomfortable?
I'm not. Just because for me, the thought of just walking around. Like,
I wouldn't want to do it, but like embrace it.
It's brave season, and it's not because of the nipple. Like it's more of the fact that you're not wearing a bra. Like just not wearing a bra, even if you're wearing a top and no bra. Like it is just a brave move for a certain type of breasted woman.
I have no boobs at all, and I still feel like I should wear a bra because it makes me feel so naked without it. And I don't want my nipple like rubbing up against anything.
Right.
I know we're really getting to the heart of this, but like embrace the nipple.
And
not Adam Levine's
and
nipples.
Adam Levine embraced his nipples. Okay, so we're gonna get right into the fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast. Because our first story is about the halftime show, so we can really dig into all the nuances of this really boring show.
Can I ask you something before we start? Mm-hmm. Did you think Travis Scott was going to propose to Kylie?
No.
Because I read that this morning that I thought that was a thing, and I totally forgot that was supposed to be a thing.
Everyone,
and I felt old.
Like E! News and Betches were like, they're going to propose.
Yeah.
And if you know Kylie and Travis at all, you know that would never happen. Like, she is so private. She doesn't like attention. She's like really enjoys her privacy and like cherishes it.
Right.
So she would never get engaged on national TV like that.
And also like the biggest national TV event of the year. And that seems like the anti-privacy.
Right. And she doesn't, she could fart and make headlines. Like, she doesn't need to do something like this in order to like drum up sales or get followers. Like, she
reinvent herself.
Right. She's so above it. So maybe, and then this is actually, you know what? We'll talk about it as our first story. So Travis posted an Instagram story after he went on of her, and she's wearing what looks like to be an engagement ring. First of all, I just want to say, she's always wearing what looks to be an engagement ring. Even when she was dating Tyga, she was always wearing an engagement ring on her ring finger.
Right.
By the way, she also calls Travis her husband, and he calls her his wife, yet everyone's like, are they engaged? They very well might be married.
Yeah, they very well might be, or it might just be like a cute nickname or something that they do to like obfuscate. And people lie to press all the time.
Right.
Like, people forget that.
Right. And they didn't lie about the pregnancy, but they obfuscated that for a long time.
Exactly. Like,
and all the sisters did too.
Off. Right.
So even when the Kardashians went and watched it live and they were like, she's not married, I think that was where they said it. It's not their place to tell. I feel like they feel comfortable lying on behalf of a sister if that is what the sister wants. I would do it. I would lie.
I was going to say, wouldn't you have sisters? Wouldn't you do that?
I would lie for a sis.
Yeah, me too. I would lie for my brother in a second. I mean, especially because it's something that really doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't matter because it matters, but it's not like it's new. It's not like, oh, they're running for president.
It's not like
it's whether you're married or you're pregnant. That's not your business to tell. Like, I didn't tell Andy's baby story for a long time.
Oh, well, you'll tell us.
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that too.
Also, it doesn't change anything. Like,
right. Finding out a month later, like, what? That's not going to move the needle, and they're just protecting their sister. Because to be honest with you, like, that's why their Kardashians like post their stories like a day or two late.
Right.
Because just imagine not having any privacy. Like, as you said, if she farts, it's going to be like a page 6 story. Like, they have to do that in order to live some semblance of like kind of a normal life.
Agreed.
I imagine.
However,
yes.
As I think about it, if they were to have gotten engaged yesterday, I think it would have been like right as Travis was about to go on.
Yeah.
Like, he's about to descend up into he was wearing a harness. He came down from the sky, right?
Yeah, and like a flame ball or something.
And like she's like saying, bye, babe. And then if he proposed like in private, like right before he did the Super Bowl.
That would have been cute.
That would have been really cute because it's like there's so much adrenaline. She's not thinking of anything other than like his performance. And I think she knew he wasn't going to propose on stage. And like, I don't think Adam Levine would stand for that. Adam Levine is already sharing the stage with Maroon 4 and 2 other acts, which is a very selfless thing to do, but also, you know, someone who understands that they are not enough of a presence to carry the show, a la Lady Gaga.
He took his shirt off, like, he needs the center stage.
Desperate.
Yeah, he got a little desperate. Little desperate.
So I don't think it was ever even a consideration that he was going to propose on TV.
What did you think of his style? Because then I saw a bunch of memes afterwards that showed like pillowcases from like IKEA.
Target.
Target and stuff that had the same pattern, and I thought his outfit was like horrendous.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't know anything about men's fashion, and I don't even notice it. Like, it took a few songs in for me to like think, oh, what do I think about Adam Levine's outfit?
Gotcha. Okay.
And what I thought about is I didn't even look at the prints. I thought it was very functional because at first he was wearing pants, a jacket, closed. Then for the next song, he opened his jacket. Okay, that's a second look.
Yeah.
Then he changed jackets into the Atlians for Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Then he took his jacket off, and then he was wearing a shirt. And then he took his shirt off. So we really kind of had 6 wardrobe changes for a man. So I thought it was kind of functional.
Each song.
Now if we're getting down to patterns.
Yeah, and style.
It's pretty fugly.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because I wear menswear. Like, I genuinely like menswear. I feel like men have better clothes than women in a lot of ways, but I don't think men know what to buy for the most part. I'm just making sort of a generalization. So I like it. Like, it fits my body type. So I really look at like how you can always tell like a really crappy suit on a guy looks horrendous.
Or like really baggy jeans.
Or the wrong shoes. You can so see it. So I always look at men's style because I also feel like people don't do that enough.
No.
And I thought his outfit was like horrendous.
What would you rather have seen him in?
All black, or I don't know. Like, even if it was just like, if it was an Adidas jumpsuit, like Missy Misdemeanor, like tearaway pants, I would have been so into that. I would have been like, all right, like, do you? The truth is like, he's an objectively attractive guy, so I guess it doesn't really matter what he's wearing. But like, I care. Like, you're at the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, why are you wearing the worst print shirt I've ever seen in my entire life? And
even if it was just like a wife beater, for lack of a better,
a gray t-shirt,
less offensive term.
Yeah, right. Like exactly. Like a tank. A gray t-shirt would have been miles better. Agreed.
Except I did like those jackets they put on. The Atlians. I think
I like that one.
I love that look.
I like that look. I like athleisure. I just hated that print top. I just thought it was like, ugh. Was a couch cushion or whatever. Target,
the
whatever.
pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Okay, so first up, Kylie, even though we kind of already did this, Kylie Jenner and Stormi Webster cheer on Travis Scott at the Super Bowl after pregnancy comments. Oh, right. She also posted a picture the day before the Super Bowl of her and Travis saying, baby, #2, ? So everyone's like, oh my God, she's pregnant.
Oh, I saw that, right? And then and I think comments by celeb said something, and she was like, I'm just calling him like my baby. Like, he's my #2 baby, not.
Right.
Yeah. Although.
She's asking for it.
She would hide in plain sight, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it could easily be said that it's like, I'm just calling him my baby, because I call my girlfriend my baby, too. I'll just be like, hey, baby. But maybe she is pregnant, and they're just hiding it. I don't know, Jackie.
I don't know.
I could be swayed either way.
Me too, and I would be happy either way.
Yeah.
According to Kylie Jenner, her daughter Stormi Webster had a priceless reaction to Travis Scott's Super Bowl halftime performance. The Astroworld rapper and House member Big Boy, did I say bad boy before?
No, I thought you said big boy. Yeah. He is a bad boy, but he's also big.
This is true. Both made brief appearances during Maroon 5's set. The band's performance included a SpongeBob SquarePants cameo. That was cool.
That was weird, right?
I thought that was funny.
I was just like, where's this going?
I'm unfamiliar with Travis Scott's work and Astroworld, so I didn't know that if that was like a Travis Scott thing, but I just thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny too, and I'm not familiar either. I'm sure there's like a link there, but I was like, SpongeBob, like what's going on? Like, all right.
No, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
A gospel choir, a drum line, and even a shirtless Adam Levine. In Jenner's video, her 1-year-old daughter stood in front of the television bouncing along to the music in a tie-dye sweatshirt and could be heard laughing at one point. It's a busy weekend for Scott, Jenner, and Stormi. Other than the big event during the football game, the family celebrated Stormi's monumental first birthday. The Kylie Cosmetics owner originally planned on throwing a big party for Stormi, but the rainy weekend in LA derailed her plans. Oh, cute.
I know that she is like fantastically wealthy and obviously like got the whole family thing going on, but I cannot imagine having a kid at that age.
I know.
That's like, because you are a kid.
Yeah.
People do it. I'm not saying it's wrong or anything like that, but like, oh my God, I was just thinking about that and I was like, oh my God, having a child, and she's like, what, 8 years younger than me or something? I'm like, oh my Lord. It's really cute. She's cute.
She's really so cute about it. The message that she wrote about Stormi, how like every day with her is the best day of her life.
I know.
It's so cute. And I just think, I mean, Kylie's life is so different than the normal person. And I think she grew up so fast, so she's already wise beyond her years. And then I think she also got everything so quickly. So it's really hard to find meaning in the world when you can just get anything that you want when you want it. It's like nothing is like special.
Right.
And I think Stormi has brought so much meaning to her life and like a love that she, something that you can't buy.
That's actually a really good point. I never thought about it like that.
So it makes so much sense to me.
That's something that came from, like, that's the perfect normal human reaction. Anyone would have that reaction no matter how much money you have. Like loving your kid and feeling this overwhelming sense of vulnerability. My boss is about to go through it. It's like, doesn't matter where you come from, how much money you have, how many friends, like this is that purest moment. And you're right, I think she's just experiencing that. But wow, having a kid like at that age, like she's got balls. Like she's a responsible young lady.
She is. Yeah. Also, and now I would be surprised if now she starts having like a lot of kids. If she had like a brood.
No, they're gonna have like 6. They love breeding children.
They
do,
and she
all
always
they do is just have children.
To be a mom. Like she wants to have a lot of kids, but like having one child is so much responsibility. But having like so many children,
no, like Kim and Kanye, like just keep churning them out.
I know.
They're creating like their own next generation of humans.
Like they'll each be an expert in a field, and then they'll be the Illuminati.
And they're just going to repopulate the world into like Kardashian Island, and like, boom, that's like what we're gearing up for in 18 years. Like,
I'm so here for it.
I know it's going to be like the Fyre Festival, except not just cheese sandwiches.
Right.
Yeah.
Because also at the end of the day, like Fyre Festival, like if they could have fucking figured their shit out, like, it would have been cool.
You didn't like, were you gonna like go to that?
No. I mean, Zach sent it to us, like, oh, this looks so cool, but we were going to Stagecoach that weekend, so we never even. But, like,
I thought of you when I watched the documentary.
You did?
So when I was like, I wonder if they were planning on going.
No,
if they,
because
okay.
I mean, we're
not
not
dumb.
We're
Right.
not dumb. We're
Yeah.
not huge music festival people, except for country music. We love like a country festival experience. And then it's just like to be on a beach with like models. I mean, that sounds like my personal worst nightmare.
Yeah, no, I would hate that.
And then the music is like Blink 182 and Ja Rule. Again, not enough to get me on a beach.
So you don't care about Coachella or anything like that?
No, Claudia and I did Coachella once because we were starting our show and we were like, this will be great for like work and
sure.
And it was, but it was torture.
Like
we had
insecure city, like just
it just like logistics city. Like, oh, you have to be at this party, but then that like for 1 minute, and then you go to this party. It's like, wait, why can't we just enjoy the party?
Right.
Like no one, and then all the parties during the day, which were like the cool thing and the only thing that mattered to be at, were also like work stuff. So like you can't actually enjoy yourself. You're just like there to be there.
Right.
And then the only time you get to enjoy yourself is at the festival where it's like fucking sweaty and gross. And even like VIP is there's so many people and it's like it's not enjoyable. We don't care about the music. And it was like, but that party was kind of fun if people were down to have fun. But
yeah, you were like
work.
it's like more hectic than an actual work day for you guys because it's like appearance.
Torture.
Yeah, that's.
But we got so much out of it. But like, oh my god, it was like our worst nightmare.
Yeah, you guys are like running around, like running a marathon.
Yeah, and then everyone changes in between too, and it's like, what? But our first outfit was good. Like,
right, like I feel very confident about this outfit.
This is 3 days, so now I need 6 outfits or 7 outfits. Like, it was just. No one could enjoy like the moment that they were in when like all these parties are like actually cool, but no, we're here to work. Okay.
Yeah, you're like, but
Here
then
I
like,
am.
what's cool?
Right, and then the actual concert is what's supposed to be fun. And it's like, no, this is the part that sucks.
Yeah, no, that's like the worst part. Then you have to like bake out in the sun and just like
stand in lines.
Yeah, right. They like pee in like a hole somewhere. I'm like, is this what cool people do?
Right, and then
like,
I
don't know.
Even at the festival, then we went to Lady Gaga and we're like having the time of our lives
Yeah.
finally because like an act that we know and we're living and everyone's like, we have to leave now if we want to get to Neon Carnival. And we're like, but we're having a good time here.
Right, we listened to half a note.
So we leave to get to Neon Carnival and then you're just standing in lines, waiting for buses, trekking through the desert to get to this carnival. That sucked. Like, that sucked. And then we're sitting there being like,
And then you're like, you can't get out of it.
No.
There's no buses
No, you
back.
have to like wait for it.
You have to like stay there.
It was crazy. So, wow, I haven't recapped
So now I
Coachella.
know.
So for that reason, like, I'm not a Fyre Festival type. I'm not cut out for it.
Thank God.
But I was watching the Avicii documentary. Have you seen it?
Not yet.
So good.
On my list. I like Avicii. I think what happened to him was really tragic, but like not uncommon. And it was, what had happened, like a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a
Is
good
it on
documentary,
Netflix?
but yeah.
Okay.
It also showed me like the whole thing is about how much he was touring and doing shows. There are so many festivals in this world, like festivals everywhere, and Avicii was doing all of them. And so people, as much as it's hard to put on a festival and it takes a lot of time and work and manpower, it's done all the time. So like Fyre Festival, if you guys even though you're bullshitters, like you sold tickets to sing, fucking do it. And just, I mean, if you had given yourself more time.
But not even that, like the day before it's supposed to go down and everyone's gonna fly to this like remote island.
They're still pushing it.
Why don't you just cancel it? Like,
I know.
Why go through the entire thing and make people do all that?
Did you watch both documentaries?
I haven't watched Netflix yet, only Hulu's. The reason I haven't watched Netflix is because even though I think it's better produced because it says like how the Islanders are really affected, which is horrible. But I think it was produced by Jerry Media, and they were kind of
the ministers of propaganda.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like they were the kind of people that like fucked other people over. I don't really like that. Like,
no,
it's hard to support that.
Agreed. And if you can only watch one documentary, I recommend. I've watched both, so if you can only watch one, you got to go Hulu because it's more of the facts.
And it has Billy.
And it has
Billy.
And
it has that who's annoying and like frustrating, but at least
you're seeing what people were working with, even though
just watching him answer the questions is worth it.
The only redeeming thing about the Netflix one, even though they definitely cut a lot of corners, and the Hulu one talks about all the numbers and like how like the Ponzi scheme of it all, like how he was using this money to pay for that, and then raising money to cover this. The Netflix one. And then the Hulu one kind of glazes over what actually happened once people got there. It's like people got there and then they just go into the media shitstorm. The Netflix one shows how like people slept there.
No, I know. And like the Islanders are like owed hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they tried to like transform their island. It's actually quite terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
So they do a good job of showing what went down on the ground, like the night that people slept there, like drunk and scared and like intense at her wed, and it was crazy. But the thesis of the Hulu one is like, from the outset, there was no way this was possible. Like, selling tickets in December to something that's happening in April is not feasible, no matter how much money you have, and you don't have any, and you have no experience. The Netflix one is kind of like, we were actually really all working really hard on this, and we were getting it done, and then the night before it rained, and all of our hard work was vanished.
Right, but you're like...
But it's like, even if it hadn't rained, you're still in a tent.
And the cheese sandwiches. I mean, like, let us say more. Like, the meme of the cheese sandwich from that will forever... Like, I want that tattooed on my body.
No, totally.
Like, just an entire back tattoo of a cheese sandwich.
I was talking to my friends, because we're planning for a Colgate reunion, and they were like, you can do this package or this package. This one, like, has meals included. I was like, I'm not paying for meals. Like, I don't want cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, no, wait. And I'm like, do you really want to go back to, like, college meals? Like, no, you're a full-blown adult. Like,
no.
You're set.
We'll go. We can handle our meals.
Yes.
Okay, next up, Adam Levine posts message following Super Bowl performance halftime show. Following a controversy-filled Super Bowl halftime performance, although the performance itself worked hard to be uncontroversial, Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine posted a note on Instagram sharing his thoughts on the occasion. Along with a photo showing the One Love light display that took place during the set, Levine wrote, "When we accepted the responsibility to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, I took out my pen and just wrote. Some of the words that came to me in that moment eventually made their way onto the incredible lanterns that flew high and low tonight. We thank the universe for the historic opportunity to play on the world's biggest stage. We thank our fans for making our dreams possible, and we thank our critics for always pushing us to do better. One love." The words that followed were forgive, laugh, cry, smile, share, live, endure, embrace, remember, enlighten, preserve, inspire, sweat, fight, express, give, receive, elevate, climb, unify, fortify, soften, dance, scream, dream, educate, provide, inhale, exhale, preserve, I need to exhale, stand, knee, overcome, love, listen. With the 14-minute long performance, months of will they, won't they speculation was put to rest once performers Maroon 5, along with guests Travis Scott and Big Boy, took the field. So... yeah.
I mean, I don't want to like shit all over everything because it's really nice. That's really sweet. But like how much of like Adam Levine's like political stance is like being transformed to like the rest of the audience? Like live, light, love, receive, give, beg, whatever. Like I didn't get any of that from his performance.
No.
Like I didn't get any of it. He just was like shirtless and like feeling himself the entire
shirtless,
time.
feeling himself, and wanting to bring
I saw
some Atlantean aspects to the show,
which I thought was great.
Which
I
thought
like the
was
gospel
cool.
choir was really cool.
Yeah.
But like,
is Travis Scott from Atlanta?
I have no idea.
Let me Google it.
Google that one.
Is
But the gospel I think was really cool. I like the different sounds. I like that he brought on different acts. And I saw the love. I saw all of that. But I just like I don't know. I feel like he was trying to make a bigger statement than what actually went down.
I agree, and it's like I think the performance was the statement. And then it seemed he had this thing written after that he always planned on posting after the show, I guess.
Yeah.
And so that he could sort of just nip critics in the bud, but just I don't think it needed an explanation. Like the only thing that needed an explanation is the fact that like it was kind of lame and
his voice was
and like
good.
not exciting. But you made your decision to perform at the halftime show. Like fucking stand behind it.
Yeah,
and
right.
like you put in elements that show that like you want to bring everyone together. Like that's good enough.
And also he should know that no matter what, like you could do the most perfect, coolest, never before seen performance ever in your entire life, and people will still hate on it. Like,
right.
There's always going to be people who hate on things on the internet.
The Lady Gaga performance.
Everything, right? Like you could criticize everything. Like, who cares?
Like if I were him, I would do the show and then not look at my phone for a week.
Yeah, never. You know? Just silence the comments. Like, don't. I mean, he's so famous. You should probably know that. If not, like, what if some publicist should tell him that? But listen, for every hater out there, there's always someone that loves you. Agreed. It always balances out.
Agreed. However, like I think once they made the choice for Maroon 5, not that I'm a huge Maroon 5 fan, but I'm pretty ambivalent, and I feel like everyone is. My friend Dana's like obsessed with Maroon 5, but I don't think anyone like is obsessed with them.
Not in a long time.
So I feel like there was no way that this was gonna be great. You know, they're not like they have current songs, so that's cool, but there's just nothing that exciting about Maroon 5.
No, I feel like I could have gotten a better contemporary band that people would have been interested in. I mean, mixed with other acts. I don't think any one person can just carry it. I like the guest appearances and the surprises. Like even with Beyonce or Katy Perry, these huge, huge names, it's nice having that guest star kind of come in and like do their own thing, whether it's a kid or a choir or whatever.
Unless like you know Lady Gaga that you're gonna crush it.
Yeah, well, Lady Gaga's like, every different song is like almost a different performer because it's like she's reinventing herself as you go. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
And then I was thinking, like, who else should do the Super Bowl halftime show? It's like we're running out of people.
Yeah, we're running out of like huge acts to. But Alicia Keys was just asked to, host the Grammys, and like people forget about her, but she's like a true talent.
Yeah.
Like I don't like she hasn't, as far as I know, done anything like very long time, or at least an album that's like just smashed it. Although I'm not really caught up on all my Alicia Keys knowledge, but like she was amazing and perfect. So there are acts that I think people just genuinely respect that like you kind of forget about. Like I don't think Paul McCartney would have been bad. I know.
I don't know.
She cringed at that.
I don't know. I just watched
It's like when I said it was Team Carol.
I just watched. Oh no, not as bad as that. No. I just watched Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, what do you think?
I really liked it.
Did you?
I did.
I heard Rami Malek did a really good job. I love Queen, but Bryan Singer was the director, so that's why I had.
And for so long I didn't see it because I am just sitting here every day saying, how are people in Hollywood still working who are predators, who are known predators, who are open secret predators, who everyone in the industry knows, but it hasn't come out yet because Ronan Farrow hasn't dedicated the time to it. And it's like, how do people like that still work who hurt other people? But it's
and get praise.
Right. So
have you watched Surviving R. Kelly?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like that.
No, and every day, 11/11, I make a wish for justice for all of these victims who go unheard. Fucking Kesha. How is Kesha still in a battle with Dr. Luke? How is Dr. Luke still working?
Right.
So
and people forget about it.
So
no one
really
thinks
hard.
about Kesha anymore.
So then I was watching Daily Pop, which is my other favorite mid-morning show. And they were talking about Bryan Singer and Bohemian Rhapsody, and they were saying, it's so unfair to punish the whole movie because, and I totally had the opposite stance. I was like, you guys, it'll be okay if they don't win an award when a predator worked on the film. The award doesn't fucking matter,
Well, I agree with that. I mean,
so that's always what I thought. And then I was watching, and they were like, it's so unfair to punish a whole movie. People who worked on it, the cast, the crew, the lighting. They always love to talk about the lighting people.
Yeah.
And
you're always gonna mention the lighting people.
People worked so hard on this movie and they're gonna punish it because of the misdeeds of one person who was fired from the movie prior to
or halfway through or something.
Right.
So I don't think he got all the rights to it or something.
Right. So that made me think about it a little bit differently. I was like, you know what? I kind of do want to support the lighting guys. Maybe I will watch it. And I did hear really good things.
Yeah.
So I watched it and I really enjoyed it. And it made me feel like Rami Malek deserves the Oscar 1,000%. He did an incredible job. And it's frustrating because obviously everyone in Hollywood knew about Bryan Singer, and the people who worked on the movie, I have to believe they knew about Bryan Singer. But it's like...
I mean, if we know about Bryan Singer, then they have to know.
Right.
Right? Because, we're not victims of his. As far as
right.
I know.
I'm not even in the industry.
No, I mean, I'm barely in the industry.
Right, so if I was working with him and someone was like, oh, you know about Bryan Singer? You would know.
Yeah, right.
But it's sad for them that, it came to an end on their time,
Totally.
So
it's a matter of separating the art from the man. You know what I mean? Picasso was kind of this known womanizer, but people are like, okay, but he made beautiful works of art. One of my favorite movies of all time is American Beauty, and that has Kevin Spacey in it. And I hate that it has Kevin Spacey in it, but I just love the movie for itself and his acting, his portrayal in that movie I thought was great. But I hate Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's definitely this quarrel of can I support something that I know a horrible person had worked on it?
Yeah.
And are we supporting this type of culture by supporting the art? But to your point, there were hundreds of other people that have worked on that movie that are perfectly decent human beings that just want to create something that's artful and really inspiring. That's it.
Yeah, and if the movie was mediocre, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. It's love and lovin'. Justice for the girls, justice for the girls, justice for the girls, justice for the girls, and justice for the boys, justice for the boys, justice for the boys, justice for the boys. Because fucking justice needs to be served.
Fucking
it's
justice.
The R. Kelly, and then it's what you say about American Beauty, Kevin Spacey. That's how so many people feel about R. Kelly. It's I know he's a bad person, but this is on another level.
I can appreciate
it's actually on the same level.
I can appreciate that thinking that R. Kelly has a good song, but he deserves to be in jail. Kevin Spacey, I don't think deserves to come back into the acting world and make money. I just like that film. Right. That really. If another actor played it, I'd probably like it just as much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then they were saying on Daily Pop, okay, so if you can separate, the one person because, of the cast, crew, and the lighting people,
right?
Should the Cosby Show still have reruns?
That's a really good question.
Makes you think.
That's a really, really good question. I don't know. I don't really know the answer to that. I don't think Cosby Show. I think it has its place in history as a all-black like family sitcom that, you know, the Huxtables were definitely like a pop culture icon back in the day, and they definitely like taught people lessons. But I think you can't really say that without knowing who's teaching that lesson behind it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you have to have the whole story.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you can just say like the Cosby Show sucks now. Like I don't think we can make that assessment, but I definitely think having the whole picture is very, very important to the story.
Just like the dad from Seventh Heaven.
I know, which was so weird because I was like, oh my God, he played a reverend.
Right, that makes it
on
so much
Seventh
worse.
Heaven, where like you couldn't even like kiss someone, and it was like so
like
controversial.
hand-holding.
And I watched that show, and I'm like not that type of person at all. Like I don't care about that stuff at all. Like, and that's just, I mean, everything is just like so ironic and like so fascinating. With
So
it. It's,
ironic.
like, so ironic.
Alanis Morissette should write a sequel. Isn't it ironic when a reverend is a child molester?
Alanis Morissette should just write more and more stuff.
Agreed.
I love her. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all of our thoughts on the Super Bowl. Oh, what did you think of the commercials?
Didn't catch all of them because I was flying back from a wedding, so I missed like half of it.
Okay.
I thought the ones that I saw were like pretty good. They played it safe. I don't remember any like super controversial one. I was gonna check on the internet today to see like what the main ones were.
Right, or what people were saying the best ones were. I loved the Michael Bublé one.
Yeah, with the bubbly seltzer. I like that one a lot.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard.
When he's writing the E at the end, like signing. I like him.
I thought that was really cute.
I thought that was cute too. That was actually one of the more memorable ones that I've seen.
And then the Verizon one about the first responders and how important it is. Like,
I don't think I saw that one.
There was someone, I think he might, and the NFL one. But there was a guy, I think he might be like an NFL legend or something, and he was involved in an accident. He was talking about it to like all these like firefighters and police officers. And then the firefighters and police officers were like, we were the ones who were the first responders during your accident. And then he was like, so emotional, and then the message was just like, you know, connecting you, like connecting your calls in the most dire of moments.
God,
Verizon.
I love the ones that like hit you to the core, and you don't think they're going to be like a Verizon commercial. You're like, oh, this is going to be for like healthcare.
Yeah.
And then they totally flip it on you, and you're like, oh, I'm crying.
It was really cute.
I've cried at JCPenney commercials before. Like,
damn.
I'm gonna send you the YouTube link, and you're gonna tell me if you don't cry at this one. Like, it was a Mother's Day 1 year ago, and like, just tugs at your heartstrings.
Oh, send it to me.
I will. It was like really sweet.
And then like T-Mobile was like ripping off memes, like the one about the Uber driver where it's like, "Hi, Daryn, I'm here for you," and they were like, "Thank you so much. Like, it's been a really hard time." And it's like, "No, it's your Uber driver." But like, I saw that on Instagram. It was culturally relevant.
I mean, usually it's like award shows. Like, there's so long, there's so much to see that. Usually the next day it's just so much easier to watch like the highlights.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about any of the in-between. Like give me the best jokes, show me the worst one, and like that's all I need.
The NFL had a commercial for NFL 100, whatever that is, and it was the best thing I've ever seen. And I didn't even know who I was looking at, but I like recognized some faces, and it was like it was the Andy Cohen's baby shower of commercials. It was every player from like all years, old, young, you know, the announcers. Right. And they were playing like football at this like fancy dinner. It was so funny.
That's right. It was really, really funny. There was no Lisa Rinna on tables, so to be fair, it couldn't really compare to the baby shower, but it was up there.
It was up there. Yeah. They just needed a little Lisa Rinna.
Who doesn't?
They had like girl who catches the ball. It should have been Lisa Rinna.
Yeah. That would have been so timely.
Totally.
Like really niche, but so timely. That would have been great.
Okay. Speaking of Bravo universe, and I think the rest of our stories are pretty Bravo-centric. Mm-hmm. Real Housewives of Orange County star Gina Kirschenheiter arrested for a DUI. Real Housewives of OC star Gina Kirschenheiter was busted for driving under the influence. She was arrested by OC Sheriff's Department at 3:43 a.m. on Friday, the blast reports. Cops took her to the Santa Ana, California jail, where a clerk confirmed to Page Six she was released later Friday. She is set to appear in court on February 28th. We're told it is unclear if her arrest will be addressed on season 14 of Real Housewives of Orange County, as filming is slated to start next week, so then it should be. Because her court will be...
Yeah, and it should. They'll usually, like, if anything, like, hits in the press, like, much like Luann, like, anything that hits in the press, especially if we're not filming, like, they do mention it, you know, and, like, they'll catch you up.
They mention it all.
They mention it all, baby. I won't do it. Yeah, exactly. Mention it all.
She said, I made a very bad choice the other night after a mom's night out. I am extremely disappointed in myself and regret my actions wholeheartedly. I have learned a valuable lesson and hope to show you all that this one incident does not define me.
Well, I mean, listen, that's a perfectly proper statement to make. I mean, I have troubles with DUIs because it's not just you that you're hurting. Like, you can really hurt someone else.
Yeah.
And that's why I have such a big problem with it. People do make mistakes. As long as you don't know, if this was like her 8th DUI, I feel like we could make a judgment call, right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone does make mistakes. Let's see how she handles it. It was 3:43 a.m. Like, hopefully a lot of people weren't on the road. No one died. Her kids weren't in the car. Like, thank God for all of that. Let's just see how she handles it from now on. And hopefully it was just an honest mistake that she made, and it was just a lack of judgment.
I agree. Well said. I didn't know, like, I hadn't really read up on the story before we were talking about it, so I didn't know what I was going to say, but I agree. People make mistakes. She's
and if it was
apologizing,
her 10th
and
one, like, okay.
If she
like,
does it again, like...
Then we can say something, right? Like, then
Yeah.
I feel like we can make a judgment, but, like, the first time for anything, like, I don't know, I've done shitty things before.
Yeah, I wonder what her blood alcohol was.
Right, because maybe it wasn't...
Maybe it was, like, 0.09.
Right, in which case it's like, okay, like,
Maybe
listen,
she thought she was so, like...
And I don't, you know, like, after your one glass of wine, of you being sober for a month, what's your blood alcohol content having one glass? Not that you were shit-faced or you wanted to drive, but I don't know, like, how that's measured is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
She could have been obliterated. I'm not defending her, but I'm also not, like, just casting judgment to cast judgment.
Agreed. And, you know, I kind of need more details, and I guess I'll have to watch Real Housewives of Orange County next season.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Okay, next story. Not exactly Bravo-centric, but has a Bravo tie-in.
Okay.
Pete Davidson and Kate Beckinsale were spotted leaving a comedy club
How
together.
does he get such hot women? How?
I do not know.
How?
Pete Davidson and Kate Beckinsale continue to fuel rumors that they're an item after they were spotted leaving the comedian stand-up show together on Friday night. The actress, 45, and the SNL star, 25, were seen at Largo at the Coronet in Los Angeles, where he played a comedy set. Davidson held Beckinsale's hand as the two exited the club. As they left, she tried to shield her face from the paparazzi. Their outing together comes after a Page Six exclusively reported that they were getting cozy at a Golden Globes party last month. Now, the bravo of it all comes in because Bethany Frankel made an X-rated comment about Pete Davidson's diamond dick. Quote, so Pete Davidson was engaged to the sexy and talented Ariana Grande and is now dating the beyond stunning Kate Beckinsale. So I guess it's clear that he shoots diamonds out of his penis.
I mean, that has to be clear, right? I mean, like, why? What I don't okay, I think it's just like Kate Beckinsale is like gorgeous, right? Like objectively, just like absolutely pretty. And she's 45. And men usually tend to mature a little bit slower than women. So I'm curious as to like what he's bringing to the table to like a 45-year-old, like gorgeous, beyond her years type of woman. Like, that's why I think it's easy to make the assumption that like literally he's shooting diamonds out of his penis.
Right.
Because I don't get it at all.
No, I don't get it at all. I think some people find him attractive, but he's not my type. Then there's like this whole BDE.
Yes, I know that. But he's like, and he's tall, right? Like he's
surrounding him.
6'5" or something like that. Like,
yeah.
He's a tall dude.
He might also be like really, really funny. You know, I mean, he is a comedian.
Yeah, he's definitely on SNL. I mean, he obviously is talented.
But he might be like some comedians, like, you know, are kind of like shy and quiet and introverted, like not
on
on
like
stage.
Depressed, and like he has mental issues.
But he might like
issues.
just be making these women laugh.
And you know what? There's something to be said for that. Like, that's my number one quality in a relationship, and no shade. Like, maybe it's diamonds out of his dick and laughter, which is great and amazing. But for someone who I think also, you know, he's suffering with depression. He's got, you know, he was sober for a while. He talks about killing himself or wanting to kill himself and people sending hate mail. You know, it's hard because if you're going to choose a relationship with another famous person as well, and we don't know, I'm just sort of speculating.
Yeah.
But like, if you're going to choose a relationship with another famous person, like you're going to be in the spotlight, and I don't think that's necessarily the best thing for your mental health. Like,
agreed.
Stay low, stay chill, like fix yourself first. You know, like be an example. Don't put yourself up for like any sort of negative hate, which he's just going to automatically get.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll see.
I kind of ship it.
But damn, yo.
I just want him to be happy, so I would.
Give me advice. I know.
He could be with anyone, and I'd just be happy for him. You know.
I know. I don't want
because like Ariana's moved on with herself, and she's doing incredibly well.
No, I mean like I genuinely. Even the hand tattoo thing, I was like, I'm here for it.
I'm here for. I want a small barbecue grill on my hand.
Dude, I'm totally here for it. And the fact that she owned up to it, because a lot of people like don't, or they'll change, or they won't say anything. Like she was just like, oh, miss you. She was like, R.I.P. barbecue grill, like miss you. And I was like, that's so cute. Like she's got a good sense of self.
She has a really good sense of humor too.
Yeah, she does. She really does.
I think that she's kind of like cool. Did you watch Dangerous Woman Diaries?
I did not. Should I?
No, but there were just like moments where she's kind of annoying and like childish and immature in her baby voice, and it's really fucking annoying. But then there are also more moments where she's just being like a 25-year-old and being just cool and
I like that.
funny. Yeah,
I like that. I will say I watched Katy Perry's like Part of Me documentary when it came out like 8 years ago. Or whenever
I saw it in theaters.
Me too. with like a bunch of 12-year-olds. In fact, you were probably there because I was like 25 at the time. And sat like front row because my friend like produced it. And so I wanted to see it, and I liked Katy Perry, especially at the time. And I just thought that movie showed how good she was to her fans, and it's really nice to see that. Like,
yeah.
It was a good, heartfelt movie. You could tell that she really sensed it, and that's kind of what I feel like Ariana really does care about her fans in that way.
Yeah, she really does.
Yeah.
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was actually a very well done. Again, my friend helped produce it, so I'm a little bit biased, but I just thought it portrayed her in a really nice light.
Yeah.
And showed how hectic her life is.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the Russell brand of it all.
Yeah, that was like kind of cool.
It was kind of cool. I used to be her #1 fan.
I loved her.
I loved her. I still like her now, but I mean, her music just isn't good, so it's like hard to still like love someone like that. But
Yeah.
like during her, teenage dream firework,
Oh my God.
I literally would die for her.
Oh my God. When she came out with I Kissed a Girl, like it spoke to me in many ways, Jackie.
True.
It was really important
Very
in my
true.
life. Yeah.
Okay, this last story is a little business news that I just found so interesting. So we'll get into it, and then we'll just go full Bravo for you guys. Okay. So, crypto exchange says it can't repay $190 million to clients after the founder dies with the only password.
I saw that.
Canadian crypto exchange Quadriga CX says it cannot repay most of $190 million in client holdings after its 30-year-old founder, Gerald Cotton, the only person who knew the passwords to its cold storage, unexpectedly died in India December 2018, CoinDesk reported on Friday.
Wow.
In a sworn affidavit with the Nova Scotia Supreme Court, widow Jennifer Robertson said that Quadriga CX owes its customers some $190 million in both cryptocurrency and fiat money. Quadriga CX has filed for creditor protection because it says it cannot access the funds stored in cold storage, just the comparatively smaller amount in a hot wallet used for transfers, CoinDesk wrote. That is fucking crazy.
Normally when I read that story, I was like, can't someone just hack this? But I know that cryptocurrency is
No, that's
obviously
the point.
like you can't do it.
Yeah.
And I remember when Bitcoin had like rushed to $20,000 a coin like a year ago or something, everyone was trying to get it. I listened to so many different stories about people being like, yeah, I bought Bitcoin like 8 years ago and I lost the code. And so now I have like $20 million in the bank, but can't access it at all.
That's how they're making all their money.
Right, exactly. Like people buying it, but I just think it's like, you don't have like your Wi-Fi password. You know how like sometimes it's like PQI like X.
Yeah.
Like this is the code that people need, and you can't access $190 million.
That's so scary.
I mean, the guy, a 30-year-old founder, tragic death, obviously, because who dies that young? That's got to be horrible. But like, share your like I put all my passwords like my iPhone.
Right.
It's so bad, but I do because I don't want to have to hack
but then
myself.
It's also like he's a founder of this company. Someone's going to try and hack his password. Like his password needs to be protected because.
Right, but like you don't tell your CEO, you don't tell your CFO, you don't tell like your number 2 in command that your password
is like. Or you don't
is
put it in your will, but then you could hack a will.
But like that's just it's just like a perfect story. It's a perfect story. It's a perfect story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is just so crazy.
Wow, and it doesn't relate to Bravo at all.
No, not at all, or anything that we were talking about. But I just thought it was an
We don't have
interesting
any
factoid
housewives investing in Bitcoin, as far as I know.
that you know of.
As far as I know, Sonia might have. She definitely lost the password if she invested in Bitcoin.
Oh, for sure. But she's like, she's
the best.
braver than all of us.
She brought an intern to the baby shower.
Just one.
Just one. Sat at the table. Guy. Carried her bag.
That was my question. So there were obviously all housewives there, but then there were also like the Rebecca Romaine, Jerry O'Connell's, Amy.
Phillips.
Yep,
John Mayer stopped by.
John, of course. But so there were a few like media types, like media adjacent Bravo folks, who got those invites. Like what was the criteria to be a non-housewife invite?
I think Andy had some of his like home friends there too. And like Jerry is such a Housewives fan. Mm-hmm. Like even when he came on Watch What Happens Live, like this was his moment that I think Andy was like definitely stopped by. And Rebecca knows all of them. Like they were at Denise Richards' wedding. Like they're intertwined to the whole thing. They're local to California. It kind of made sense. So I actually don't know. I'm assuming like the Marlo and Phaedra invites just came from Nene. I can't see Andy being like, oh, invite all the friends, just because then you have to stop it somewhere.
Right.
Making it so it's like it's just current housewives makes it so it's like a complete like finalized list. Obviously, like people brought other people there.
Right. What was the dynamic between Brandy and Leanne? Because they took a selfie together.
They did take a selfie together. Actually, the Dallas girls were like so Deandra wasn't there. Carrie Duber wasn't there. I think those are the only two that we were missing from Dallas. They were like, I mean, Brandy and Stephanie, I just truly, really love. Like, they're so nice. Like, I don't know how to phrase this in any other way. They're just like, they're sweet as pie. They just want to have a good time. That's kind of how I view Dallas too. It's like, they're debutante and they have to like present themselves in a way, but they just want to have a good time. A little bit like the OC without the pretension.
Yes, because also the OC is like
they compete with Beverly Hills though. You know what I mean? Like, so they have to like have that sense of wealth, whereas Dallas is just Dallas.
Right, but they're also the new kid on the block. So I can see them being like a little shy, and I think that maybe, you know, they're a small fish in a big pond now, whereas in Dallas, they're a big fish in a small pond.
It's a little like Potomac, Atlanta, or even like New York, New Jersey. Like, you're kind of close in proximity. You kind of have like similar lives. Like, you know, Potomac, the only reason I'm related to Atlanta is like because it's kind of like our other Southern show, you know, whatever. And you can just kind of like play the dynamics of it. Like, New Jersey is always going to be like the trashier, rawer version of New York.
Right.
Just like the OC is going to be that for Beverly Hills. And as it should be, that's what I like it. But yeah, Dallas is kind of like its own land.
Were they were they getting in the mix, or were they kind of like all sticking together?
Yeah, everyone at the table like sat within their own cast, like for the most part. So Dallas was actually sitting at the opposite end of the table from Andy, and that was like where all the Beverly Hills people were. So they were just as much in the mix as anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you know that Andy was having a baby before he announced it?
A year.
So you knew before the conception?
Oh, I knew. Yeah, I knew like when he was starting to like think about it. Yeah. Wow. It was the biggest secret to keep for the longest time.
Was it really hard? Like, were there any moments where it almost got out?
Yeah, I like the only people I ever told were my parents and my girlfriend, because it was affecting my life, and I was on
your
calls
job
and like
changing.
So I had to tell them, and you know they're not gonna tell anybody, and that was it. And it was really difficult because he would call me, you know, and we would talk about it. I'd have to print stuff at the office, like, you know, we were all of a sudden going to LA for a few weeks, and like no one really kind of knew why, and like there was a big announcement, things had to be moved, like I couldn't give people like direct timelines for things, and they were like, what's going on? You can always get us back. And I'm like, oh, sorry, just like a lot of things up in the air. So it was a lot of playing on that and not trying to give any sort of hint. But like, yeah, I almost dropped it thousands of times, and I had to like check myself.
That's so funny. Who came up with the theme Star is Born? Because it's brilliant.
I have no idea, but that was brilliant. I have literally no idea who came up with that. I mean, it could have been the event planner, but it could have been Kyle. Like,
who was the event planner?
This guy, Eddie Zaratsian, I think was his last name. He was really, really good. I looked at his Instagram afterwards, and like the best events ever. But he works on all.
But this was his number one event.
Obviously.
Who was the most thirsty for John Mayer?
Oh, I mean, listen, I think most women are probably thirsty for John Mayer. I would probably say like Sonia, maybe Ramona. I think I saw Vicky over there at one point. Like, not thirsty in any sort of like terrible way, but just definitely like gravitated immediately towards him. You know, like Beverly Hills is almost like too cool. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
No, they see celebrities all the time.
Right, exactly. Like, it's really nothing for them. So I think the other people who like don't get to see that were like all over him in the corner. We were dying laughing.
That is so funny. So now in hindsight, there were no cameras there, even though there was speculation that there were. Even though, what would you guys do with that footage, you know, other than like maybe a snippet on Watch What Happens Live? Like,
yeah, like I guess it could have been like part of a season of like Beverly Hills, because this was filmed there. But that feels like no one was going to be able to be themselves. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, it was a baby shower. Like, I know it didn't turn out to be that way, but like that was the goal. People brought gifts. Like, that was the theme.
Who was the drunkest?
Lisa Rinna.
Was she?
Shannon Bedore was up there.
Shannon, how was Shannon?
Shannon looked good. She looked really, really good. She looked super pretty. Tamara was gorgeous. Showed her boobs on Radio Andy, because we were also recording for Andy's radio channel on Sirius. So there's like a lot going on. She looked great. She was in a jumpsuit. She looked perfect.
I want to keep up with Shannon Bedore, because you know I'm a Shannon stan.
I love Shannon Bedore.
But this past season, she lost me. But I know she's coming back.
No, she'll be back.
She goes
in waves.
She does. She
goes in waves.
No, and no one is perfect.
No.
What was the drama with Beverly Hills? Apparently, the fight was between Dorit and Camille. Confirm or deny?
There was some drama. I wasn't sitting we were like on the side with the Watch What Happens Live crew. Like, we had a few of our producers who came to LA with us. We were like kind of watching this Last Supper go down, because we wanted to see everything. The problem with a long rectangular table is you can only see right in front of you and this and this. You don't get to see like what's in the wings. So we really wanted to like have a better like overall view of it. They were getting into it a little bit, but I believe, Andy was like, it's not the place. Like, guys, like, it's not the time to be doing this. And like, save it for the reunion. You know what I mean? Like, save it for when the cameras actually are on you.
What was going on between New Jersey and New York?
It's funny because I feel like each side sort of thinks that the other side is like kind of rude, but I don't know if that's just because it's like it's across the river. You know what I mean? Like they were representing their own faction. So it was really interesting. I think, the same thing that people think about Jersey and New York is true. Like I think Jersey thought New York was like kind of standoffish, and like Ramona has a tendency to be a little bit standoffish. Like that's kind of who she is. That's kind of like her MO. Like she does that all the time. Like that's just Ramona. And I think the Jersey girls are just like trying to have a good time and be fun. But like even Teresa, like she can be a little standoffish because she's an OG. Like she's been through it. Dolores and Margaret are literally the friendliest, most genuine people ever. And they were just coming at the table, like saying all the drama. And
well, according to Instagram, Dolores and Danielle had made up.
Yeah, I think that really it's more like a Margaret Danielle thing. And I think Dolores is like a really good buffer because I think that she understands Danielle's kind of crazy wild side, but as an adult and as like a mother, she like really understands like Margaret was, is a kind person, is a good soul, and so she was like the perfect buffer in between. Because sometimes, especially right now with Teresa, she seems way more on Danielle's side than on Margaret's side. Yeah, and Dolores is a really good person.
Agreed. Well, okay, we'll get into New Jersey. What was I just going to say? Oh, we need to talk about the Kardashians on Watch What Happens Live because I need to know how it was organized because it wasn't promoted that much, which made me think that it was a last-minute confirmation.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, we had always kind of planned on having the Kardashians on. It's always hard to, listen, we've had them on before, but it's always hard to get all of them in a room. Like, it was like our first interview
and
together.
And they said it was their first interview together
in a while,
in
years. So I think, it was announced kind of last minute. One, because I think once you find out that they're going to be on the paparazzi, you're just going to be like everywhere and crazy and absolutely nuts, and like they don't necessarily want that. But I think their schedule I was holding that time slot for a while.
Yeah. Understood. Okay, and were they fighting before? Because there was a weird
Not that I saw.
shit, but like Kourtney was on the outs.
Not that I feel like Kourtney's kind of always on the outs.
Right.
Like, isn't that like, I don't want to say the role she plays, but like that's the sister role she plays.
More so than usual. And were they filming?
They were filming, so people had to sign appearance releases, and like Andy's on the show, but they were filming that. As far as I saw, no drama really like ensued.
Okay, because I could totally see it be like Family Feud, all the drama behind the scenes, like they got into a fight with Kourtney, and then they had to go on the show and like pretend like they're not in a fight.
It's just hilarious. I love it.
It's hilarious. Are you going to be on Kardashians?
No, I will not. No.
Did you sign a release?
No.
Why?
I wasn't there for like part of it because I was like in the back like working and doing my own thing. So I couldn't even like really be there. It was like very close. Like most of my coworkers aren't going to be on it. It was really like, just Andy.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I look forward to it. It was so good.
You see like my hand in the background.
He asked some great questions.
Yeah, and he loves them. And he kind of felt bad because I think he calls her Chloe.
I was going to ask you.
But that's actually the proper way to pronounce it. Like she has confirmed it's the proper way to say it.
That's so interesting.
I know, because everyone thinks that like Andy was just being not shady, but just kind of being
that's
funny.
Their inside joke.
That's their inside joke. Like it's like quirky and funny.
Yeah.
Like if I were like Jack K, like I don't know, it was just a thing.
Yeah.
But like apparently it's correct.
That is so. I was gonna say, is there a reason they have a joke? But then I was like, you know what? Maybe he didn't even realize he was saying it wrong.
Yeah,
not wrong, but differently.
No, right, exactly. No, exactly.
Okay, let's get into some of the shows right now because so much is going down.
Yeah.
Okay, New Jersey, the best it's ever been.
The best it's ever been. The best it's ever been.
This past week was particularly frustrating because I am Team Margaret until I die, like on a personal level and on the show level.
As an adult, like she's like a role model.
She really is.
Yeah.
And she's so just sober in her thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was really frustrating.
Drink, so she's got it.
Oh, she doesn't.
She doesn't. The only reason she doesn't drink though is because of migraines. It has nothing to do with like she was an alcoholic, she had problems. Like it has nothing to do with that. She just gets migraines, so she doesn't drink. So she's always of like sound mind.
Yes. Oh my God, I forgot about that. So it was frustrating because half of the group is taking the other side. And it's not even, I like Jennifer. I actually like her a lot. I think she's a great housewife and I think she's hilarious.
She's great
housewife. And you never know what she's going to say or what she's going to do. It's like you would expect she's never been on a girls trip before. She's going to go on a girls trip and be on the phone with her husband the whole time and be like worried about how she behaves. No, she goes on a girls trip and she fucking is ripping shots and just saying the wildest
doesn't even know that
things.
the shot is right in front of her. She's like, where's my drink? And
so
Teresa's like, right.
I just like her because I I don't know anyone like her. There's no one else like her on the shows.
And I think that's a really good point because for me, when I saw, okay, she's like a little bit more traditionally Turkish, like, you know, her family obviously like is very involved in that culture and that, you know, the religion. So I thought she was going to be extremely tame because I thought that her husband, like, she's also representing her husband, her kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she's a first-time housewife so sometimes you got to feel it out before you can like, you know, really.
But let's not forget, like, she did agree to go on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, right? So like, she's prepared to bring some heat. Like her talking about her palace in Paramus, like I grew up near Paramus, so like I know exactly where she's talking about, and it's just like hilarious. Like Jersey is just so Jersey. I love it. I love everything about it. But she really has brought it. She's got good insults. She's got great one-liners. And the good thing about it is, I think, like with Margaret being able to just like, you know, she apologized immediately. She stepped out of line talking about Jennifer's husband. And she said, you know, she came back and she was like, that was just meant to hurt you.
For me, that was an ideal fight because it was hilarious. It was mean, but it was also both sides were, I mean, I was obviously on Margaret's side because Jennifer started it with the brother and the jewelry store. So like I understood Margaret going in, but like then what Margaret said was mean, so Jennifer went mean, and it was like a perfect fight because it was all there.
The monkey's asshole thing though, like I'm sorry, but Jennifer telling them that the necklace was ugly, I thought was just like
horrible.
That's horrible. Like it's first off, it's a gift, right? Like it's not like a statement of anything other than like, here, you've been working really hard, like we love you, here's this. And she's like, that necklace is ugly anyway. I was like, whoa.
No, she was so off. So Margaret like digging in, I was happy to see it, and then Jennifer coming back with a monkey's asshole that you fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Was just, it was perfect.
Because like, what does that mean?
What
does that mean?
No.
What
does any of it mean? So it was really a perfect Housewives fight. And then again, it was like Jennifer starts in talking about Margaret's mom. And Margaret's mom's sex life, like off limits.
Right, exactly. I'm like, if we can't talk about husbands and children, which is often a Jersey thing. I mean, it should be kind of across the board, especially children, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Your husband kind of is more like equal on the same playing field, can choose to be on the show or not. But Jersey, Dolores is always like, don't talk about your husband and your children.
Right.
Like that is Jersey, like. Like that's a code written in blood. So you can't bring up fucking parents. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Like, it's family.
So Margaret coming back at her, I thought was very warranted. But then also I too, like Margaret had a pit after the fight. I was like, that was bad. And then Margaret apologized. And I mean, not that it's about me, but like I really felt like we moved on. So then the next night, and Jennifer moved on, and Margaret moved on. When Danielle was just digging, she was being...
But she was inserting herself.
She was being like, OG Danielle Staub. Like
100%. You know what to expect from Danielle Staub. She's never going to be the one who like sits there and is just like, watch it all go down.
No,
like,
but she's
smashing
that
the glass
changed.
too.
So she has not.
Correct.
And she was so mean to Margaret. And then on Watch It Up Inside, Andy was like to Margaret, if you don't care what Danielle says or does, like, why did you let her get you so angry? And it's like, I just wanted Margaret to say, like, I don't care what she says or does, but like, that was my reaction to someone who I don't even care about. Like, if someone that she actually cared about was saying those things.
Like, she also said something like off limits. It wasn't like, oh, Margaret, you're so ugly. She'd have been like, okay. But saying that your children don't want to hang out with you.
And then children wasn't enough to get under her skin. She brought up grandchildren.
Right. I was like, but the best part about it, I mean, granted, and it's funny because Margaret doesn't even drink, so she like threw Dolores's red wine, which I also thought was really funny. But by the time that Danielle and Jennifer and all those people like stood up, smashed the glass, and were like ready to go, Margaret was like halfway up the stairs.
Yeah, no, and then the fight wasn't like, even about her. And then like I love Margaret and Melissa's friendship so much, and now Jackie is a part of it. Yeah. And then Melissa stood there and like went to bat for Margaret, and Teresa is just like really such a bad judge of character.
Well, I think that I think it's almost something you can say to Teresa's face. Like she kind of knows that she is, you know. And I think
it's like just knows.
You can say that to her. I don't know who made the seating assignments like for that dinner, but it was perfectly like split down the line of Jennifer, Teresa, and Danielle, and then like Dolores, Jackie, Margaret, and Melissa. Like it was ready to throw down across the table.
Yeah,
like, it was genius.
It was genius. It was so good. I was like, my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah.
It's been a while since something has like made me so shocked.
It's been a great season of New Jersey, and the reunion is going to pack it. Like, I promise you are going to get so many good answers to things.
Well, so we do know that Teresa says on the reunion that if Joe gets deported, she will not go with him.
Right.
My personal belief, and I mean, you know this, so I'll just like kind of read your face unless you want to share something else with us, is that is her teeing us up and getting us comfortable with the idea that like she is going to leave him because she has a boyfriend.
I mean, listen, that would make sense. I mean, I think that you have to remember which people should, is that she's got 4 daughters. So whatever way is gonna, and those 4 daughters like are affected. Like, they have feelings, and I think we saw that. They just
want to grow up.
And I think we see that a lot with Melania's like whole transformation. She's clearly, and she's at that age where like she is like a full-blown adult now, and Melania, like that song, like I will never be able to get out of my head. It is the best like Housewives, non-Housewives song that's come out of any franchise ever.
And we haven't gotten a song in a really long time.
We haven't. It's been a minute, and we
deserve it.
We deserve it. Melania is giving.
There's only so much Erika Jayne can do.
Right, she can't hold the entire like fort down for everyone. No. And like Melissa hasn't come out like in a while with a song. On Display was amazing, but you can really see that. And so we think, no matter what, Teresa's always going to put her girls first, and she's going to do the right thing by leaking whatever she needs to leak to make it easier for her girls. I will say that. She's a really, really good mom.
Yes.
Yeah. So whatever protects them, whatever's good for them, she's going to think of them first.
Okay. Next up, the Beverly Hills trailer. Beverly Hills is premiering next week, and it can't come soon enough.
Yeah, I'm watching the first episode today because I missed it when I was in LA because I was traveling. I couldn't have time, so I'm gonna watch the first episode today.
Oh my God! But then how are you gonna? Oh, I guess you could watch all the episodes whenever you want. Like, I would ask you to send me the first episode, but then I can't wait that long for the second episode. Like,
right, exactly.
I need to know what's going on. What the fuck is going on with Lisa Vanderpump? Is she a cast member?
I can't tell you what's gonna happen because then you're not like you don't want to know. Like you think that you want to know, Jackie, but you don't. You want it to unfold.
I do.
You're gonna see her. Like you're gonna see Lisa. Like she's around. She's in the ether.
But something went down, and
you'll see it unfold.
I'll see it unfold. And now let me ask you. I'll reposition my question because something that we talk about is that she will always be tethered to Bravo. Her position as a housewife is interesting because she will always be tethered to Bravo by Vanderpump Rules. Mm-hmm. Now, how much of her role on Beverly Hills is related to the fact that Vanderpump Rules? Are they separate entities, or does one constantly have something to do with the other?
They're separate entities. She's an executive producer and obviously like talent on Vanderpump Rules because she's, she obviously plays like the matriarch of everything, but also the matriarch of the staff. So she really does run that. She gets paid to be the executive producer on the show. She has an opinion on it, but it is entirely separate. Similar production companies, similar people working on both, but not like it's entirely different.
Okay, so there could be one without the other.
Yeah, and as you know, like there was some crossover. Like sometimes they'll have like Stassi and like Kristen like serve a party at Kyle Richards' house, and like
Teddy's
Sheena
brother
and Brandi Glanville kind of had that whole thing when Sheena was being introduced on the show. So there was crossover, but now Vanderpump Rules is its own beast, like in its own light, right?
And we're gonna get to that too.
Yeah, it's its own entity.
Okay, Teddy's brother, is he gonna be, was that them getting us ready for him to be on the cast when he had that interview to be a busboy? Or barback?
Teddy's brother?
Teddy Mellencamp's brother was on Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, I don't think that was I think it was just like a really nice crossover. I don't think that was like preparing us to him be like his own talking head. Okay. As far as I know.
Okay, cool. I appreciated it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I was thinking Ariana's brother for a second, then I was like, oh, that's a separate thing with a Billy Lady. Yeah, that's why I was getting confused.
That is a separate thing. Okay, so now we know from the trailer and from Instagram that Dorit and LVP have had a falling out.
Yeah.
The press said it was because of a rescue dog that Dorit brought home that wasn't getting along well with her kids, so she brought it to a shelter, which was just like bad news bears for LVP. Yeah. Is this really the central fight?
I mean, I think that's first off, we all know that LVP really cares about animals, like, and who doesn't, right? Obviously, Dorit does as well. Like, there's not like the dog was tortured, and I don't want to like I don't want the ASPCA like come after us in any sort of way or PETA, but I definitely think like that was the heart of what's going down.
Oh, okay.
This season. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, it definitely plays a role.
You read things in the news and you're like, they don't know what's going on.
No, it plays a role. I mean, they don't know what's going on, but I think like, listen, I mean, they'll be at restaurants and they're filming and like you could easily be sitting next to them. Like it's not like it happens on like a stage. Like this is happening in real life. People can see it. It's just that the way that it's like produced and how we kind of go through it might be different than what you
think
experience.
You saw.
Exactly.
Yes, because we did see them in the Bahamas having what looked to be like the best trip ever.
Yeah.
In Dorit's bathing suits, which are the cutest things ever. I'm obsessed with Beverly Beach. Not that I own anything, but like
it's
as much as PK is a controversial figure, he was dead on about Beverly Beach.
Dead on about Beverly Beach, and it's like the best name because it does sound like a fictional place that you just want to go to.
No, it's like Camp Beverly Hills. Remember that back in the day?
Of course. It's like what Fyre Festival should have been.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, totally. She could start doing festivals.
She should start Beverly Beach festivals.
So they went to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Looked lit. And now we're seeing more of a friendship between Erika Jayne, Dorit, Lisa, like, which is the crew that I've dated in my life for
and
so
Erika
long.
Jayne was amazing at the shower, just like she turned up. She was great. I mean, she didn't even, I thought she was gonna like sing, like Kyle Richards.
I know, I was
sang.
hoping.
It was.
But she's like kind of like introvert. Like she's
shy. No, she's definitely shyer. She remembers everyone's name and she's a professional, but she's not like. Everyone like would compare to, I think, what a drag queen is. You know, when I like really in your face and super makeup and like blah, like a pop star. Like she's not like that at all. She's pretty like reserved.
I feel like she really is Hannah Montana. Like when she's being Miley Stewart, like and when she's being Mrs. Girardi, like she is buttoned up. And then when she's being Erika Jayne, the pretty mess, like she'll bring it all out. But she's not going to just do that at the pom at a baby shower when she showed up as Mrs. Girardi.
That's I think that's a really good point. I think her Erika Jayne is like the villain to her normal self. It's like that's her creative outlet for a moment in time for 10% of her life, and the rest of her, she's a mom. She's like a 27-year-old kid. Like she's got a real life.
Very cute. Yeah. So would you, the trailer, I mean the trailers obviously look great always. Congrats to your editing team. But would you say like this season of Beverly Hills is as like on par with this season of Jersey, like best in a while?
Oh yeah, I would probably. I mean, that's what I've heard. Obviously, I haven't seen the first episode yet, so I'm going to say that with like a caveat, asterisk. From what I've heard from Andy though, and all my coworkers, this is like such an amazing season. Like Denise is awesome. She's a really good addition to the entire group.
Okay.
Like, especially with the whole like the LVP controversy, I just think this is going to be like, it's not going to be as, you know, I mean, the fights are different, right? The fights on Jersey are different than Beverly Hills, so I can't like compare it oranges to oranges, but it's good.
Okay, that is so...
You're going to like it. The glitz and the glam definitely like.
And I don't know if you know, but Claudia and I have been waiting for the reckoning of LVP since, I would say, she brought the magazines on the trip and tried to blame Brandy. I
think this is your voodoo doll magic like coming into life, where it's like all those like LVP like dolls you've been stabbing in the back of your closet for 10 years, like maybe this is justice for the Oshry sisters.
And this is justice for Brandy Glanville.
Yes. This is justice for Brandy.
She's like...
She's waiting in the wings, like on Twitter, like...
Totally, yeah.
Salivating, yeah, of course. It's salivating. I'm ready for this.
Okay. Vanderpump Rules is so good. I mean, every season is so good. This is just...
I made this job, Lisa.
Oh my God. James Kennedy.
What do you think of Raquel?
I don't mind her.
She shifts in her seat.
Because I'm of two minds. Like, obviously, it's easy to be like, really, she's dumb. How does she not see it? And I believe she sees it and she's being dumb in a lot of respects. But I also think we've seen a lot of the other girls be in her position before and make equally bad choices.
Yep.
And I think a part of her, like, you know, she was Miss Sonoma, like, being a reality star isn't a far cry. And she wants, you know, to be on the show, and James is her meal ticket. And so she's going to try and make it work as much as she can. Right.
I think that James cheating, like him trying to hide that he cheated, is like the lamest thing ever. Like we all know it. Like, no, I mean, Lala said it best. I think it was Lala who was like, your boyfriend's not Johnny Depp, sweetie. Like, no one's lying to say that they slept with him. Like, if they slept with him, it's because they're like, A, embarrassed, or B, they want to give you the truth of like what happened, right? Like, I think it was Lala who said that, which was just like amazing. Like, of course Lala would say that. Did you watch the episode? I think it was the most recent where they're in that like roller rink.
Yes.
Okay, so they're dressed as like 80s in the roller rink, and I like how Lala's like coming to terms with James, and she's like, you know, like we'll get back on track. And at the end, she's just like, I'm sorry I called you dumb, Raquel. And like they just walked away.
Right, she's like, I'm sorry I called you dumb. You're welcome.
Yeah, like, oh my God. I love Lala so much.
I love her. We need more of her.
We need more of her. I mean, listen, she's getting there, right? Because her first season, everyone thought she was like, oh, she's going to sleep with Jax. And then she was like, no, honey, I'm not going to do anything. Like, I've got my own thing. I've got my own man. Like, the whole Ariana drama that's going on with her right now. She's just one of my favorite people, and she's genuinely just so nice and just so beautiful. I think, Raquel, I think you're right about the meal ticket, and I think it's really easy. I think a lot of people do this, and they don't admit it, so I'm kind of happy that at least Raquel is like, you know, she's consistent.
Yeah.
But I think to say that, like, she doesn't know if James cheated, like, don't be dumb. Like, it's okay to... Listen, everyone has their own relationship.
You could forgive him, but first you have to, like, accept.
And he needs to... And you should, like, be concerned that he's not being honest with you. It's okay to still stay with someone after they cheat. Like, this happens all the time. And some people have open relationships, and I don't think that we could just judge other people's relationships. We don't know what happens behind closed doors. But I think that her main concern should be the fact that James is, like, kind of embarrassing her.
Yeah.
And if he just came forward and was honest with her, like Jax eventually did with Brittany and Faith, like, that made me at least more believable in the couple.
Yeah, at least we can like start from scratch and build back up.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like you're making it so he can just avoid it the rest of his life.
Right, and I think James has like a few decent qualities, like he pays for his whole family.
Which is so
and then
sweet.
Raquel, like when something bad goes down, she just focuses on that. She's like, James is a good guy, he pays for his family.
Treats me like a queen.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, maybe 1% of the time like he's decent, but you have to also recognize just the 99% of the time.
Exactly, correct.
But then I also think that James recognizes that his meal ticket is the show and being a villain, and if he doesn't have that real like familial friendship with the rest of the group.
Yeah.
So unless he's making waves, he's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, he's not going to be like the main guy that people want to see. You know what I mean?
He's not going to be like an automatic invite. Like Stassi, Katie, Kristen, Jax, Tom, like Ariana, they're all friends with each other.
Group.
Their boyfriends are like friends.
They've
fiancés,
all dated each other.
And
they're
he's
older.
Kind of on the outside. Yeah.
Like Jax is almost 40 and James is like in his mid-20s. Like there's a huge difference. Now granted, Stassi's my age, she's 30. Like, they definitely have the range, but like he is much younger than the rest of the cast. It does seem like that. You know what I mean?
Like he could learn from Lala. Like she's younger and she's not in that, and she has a boyfriend.
He should stop drinking.
Yeah.
Like he's.
But it's clear that he hasn't. I heard some things about him this weekend at Super Bowl, like that he was supposed to work.
I mean, he was drinking on the show. He was drinking on Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah.
We're like, are you gonna drink? And he's like, yeah, I'll have a Moscow Mule. We're like, what?
Yeah. So when you know that now, it's watching it back. It's like, but I know you didn't stick to this.
Exactly.
Okay, and then the last thing we're gonna talk about is the New York trailer. Another just wonderful trailer.
Yeah,
for what seems to be an incredible season.
It's going to be incredible. A lot of drama is going down, but like a lot of good, I would say, like mending happens with the group as well. Like everyone's kind of got their own story, but Sonia, I think, especially from last season and coming off of it, I thought that was Sonia's like adult season last year.
I
Not that she was like a child. I just thought that she was like a different person. Like she felt lighter. She felt like more loving. Like she sold her townhouse. Like she was moving on. She was being independent. So I really think like it's like Sonia's trajectory that we're gonna really admire.
Oh, I love that. And I hope that Bethany supports her, because if Bethany says one mean word to Sonia, I'm done with her. After what Sonia did for her last season.
I don't think she's going to, though, because I feel like Bethany right now like has Sonia on her side along with Luann, and we're kind of like picking up from where the reunion left. And if you remember like how the reunion left, like Dorinda and her like apologized and like maybe made amends, maybe not, I don't know. But I think like Ramona and Bethany still have their kind of words with each other. So I really feel like it's Luann, Sonia, and Bethany that are like the core group right now.
Love it.
Yeah. So you're here for it.
Exciting. Plus, like we have all the Dennett, like so much stuff has happened that you've
Yeah,
forgotten
it's like
about.
so sad. I know.
It's so sad. But Bethany has a new man in her life, or men.
Yeah, she's got a new boyfriend, I think. But Bethany's really good at like, I mean, granted, she has a daughter and like Jason Hoppy, like that whole thing that went down. Like I'm sure she has to protect, Bryn in so many different ways. So I don't really know the truth until I see it on camera.
Right.
I really can't say. Like she could be lying about
then,
everything to protect her daughter.
Even still, it's like, and I see it on camera. I'm like, so is she with Dennis or not? Like when they were together and they weren't together.
But they were like good friends. I'm like, okay. Like obviously when that went down and he died, like she was utterly just devastated and rocked, and we're definitely going to see some of that this season, I think, and like the aftermath of all of that, because that was a serious thing that happened. You know what I mean? Like people have died like on the show before, like friends of people on the show, and like you can really see people's reaction, and I actually think that's what's the good thing about the show. You know what I mean? Like helps other people sort of deal with it and feel like, hey, it's not just me. Like famous people and reality stars and rich people like have the same problems sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mo money, mo problems. Two more questions. Jill Zarin.
Yeah.
Is she just being teased per usual? She's been in the past 3 trailers. Like, I'm sure she'll show up.
Yeah, she'll show up.
Okay.
She'll show up. She'll be around. I mean, I think this is a really good test to see like how she interacts with the ladies. You can't just throw anybody, not that she's random, but you can't just throw someone into the ring again. You know what I mean? Like, it has to make cohesive sense. It has to be storylines. There has to be something to follow. It can't just be like 5 of you and then like one of you was over here and you can't hang out with anyone.
Right.
So let's see how she kind of weaves with the group, and TBD.
Last question.
Yeah.
Because OC starts filming next week. Last we heard from them, Kelly Dodd had said that she would not return to the show if Vicki is on.
Yeah.
Who's on?
I can't say for sure. I know who's on. I will leave that to you to guess. But let's just say, it's like my favorite people. It's a good cast. It's a good cast.
Interesting, because judging by the baby shower, Vicki was there and Kelly wasn't.
That's true.
However, judging by last season, Kelly needs, for the show's sake, Kelly is the best housewife on that show.
Kelly laughing at Jolie's theater recital was hands down my favorite Housewives moment. Like just my favorite moment of all time.
She is so epic. And so I don't think they'll ever get rid of Vicki because she's the OG, not only of the OC, but of the franchise.
She's the first housewife.
She is. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. But, you know, sometimes, like, if you have to say goodbye. But anyways, I think maybe they're both on and, like, Kelly got a huge raise to just eat it.
Maybe that's true.
Maybe that's true. And you know what?
Jackie.
She deserves it.
Maybe Jackie's right. We won't know until it comes.
As long as Kelly's there, I don't care if Vicki's there or not. Like, we just need Kelly and Shannon and Tamra. And I can't believe Shamra broke up.
I'm here for it.
How were they at the baby shower?
No, they were actually really good. Like, they were hanging out with each other. They were fine.
Okay.
They were fine. Totally fine. Like, they were, Vicki and Shannon and
the Tres Amigas.
The Tres Amigas were there, drinking their tequila, living and loving life.
Breaking feet.
I mean, Kyle was doing splits on the table. Like, it was a lot.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for one, being here and breaking it all down.
Thanks for having me.
For the premium content that you shared with the entire world of the baby shower. Like,
that was my most premium.
That was your most
premium. That was my high-end premium content.
Peak premium. That's honestly anyone's most premium. Like, to not only be everyone, like the Toasters, there was a thread in the Toasters, like what you would have done to be a fly on the wall, like given Simon Kempton a blowjob.
Yeah.
To be a fly on the wall at the baby shower. And like, because of you, we were almost there. And we didn't have to give Simon Van Kempton a blowjob.
And I didn't tag anyone. Like, I just needed the video to be like, this speaks for itself. Like, I didn't have one drink. And I was like, this is through my eyes.
No, you're like, I'm witnessing history. And
I'm a documentarian.
History is going to be televised.
Amen.
You're a documentarian. Thank you for being here. I always work you to the bone, an hour and a half long show.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Toasters.
Thanks, Toasters.
Thanks to Super Bowl. And we will see you tomorrow. Claudia will be back with a regular scheduled programming show.
And if for some reason you haven't seen any of the baby shower footage, it's on my highlights at Carpe Daryn on Instagram. Just
Last
in
question.
case.
How many followers did you get that day?
I got like 4,000. Just like from that. Like, my friends were like, tracking it like the Doppler radar. And I was like, guys, stop telling me I see the numbers.
That is so funny.
I want more and more and more and more and more. So check them out on my highlights at Carpe Daryn.
It is worth your time.
It's epic.
And thank you for making it a highlight. And thank you for being here. We love having you.
I love being here. I'll come back anytime.
Yes, I'm going to need you back because now that Beverly Hills and New York are popping off, like, I'm going to need someone to help me figure out how I feel about it. Yeah. And right now, only New Jersey and Atlanta are on. You know, I just can't keep up with Atlanta. And I recognize that it's the best franchise. And I don't know why I can't keep it. It's because there's so much history, and I refuse to watch new seasons without having rewatched all the old ones. And unfortunately, I'm a very busy woman who's getting married soon and like really fucking stressed.
I know. Next time I see you, you're gonna be a married woman. Congrats.
Oh my God, that's
gonna be very exciting. Very exciting.
That's so crazy. Yeah. Okay, love you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jackie.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.